Hello, welcome to another episode of Career and Money Talk with Iframe. Today we'll be discussing some things that are more valuable than money. Thank you for those joining us on YouTube and also Instagram. So you notice I'm looking at two screens, so don't be distracted. Looking at YouTube and Instagram where the camera is. So thank you. Just a few minutes more before we start. Just before we proceed, just a gentle reminder of some of the things that we do at Iframe Books. To date, I've written six books, and two last year. And since June, I have made it a point of contact to or personal goal to write a book per month, and I have done that since June. So I wrote one, How to Choose Your Career Path. I wrote that one in June. In July, I wrote about managing family finance. Then in August, I wrote about career and romance, how to find a soulmate as a career professional. Then in September, I wrote about single parenting for professionals, so juggling between balancing workload as a professional and a single mother with teenage children. So I wrote that one in September. In October this month, I'm writing about investment for beginners. And I have started, but I haven't finished that yet. But it's going to be ready and launched before the 25th of October. I have written chapter one of it, and I'm really happy and excited about the prospect of the book. Um, just in a few minutes, we'll be starting to discuss this very important question, some things that are more important than money. Very, very crucial topic to discuss. Okay, so we'll be starting shortly, like I mentioned. Just before we do that, there's also some things I do for career professionals, especially the ones that are looking for jobs. We can help you with your CV preparation. We can help you with the cover letter and statement of purpose for those who are looking to for admission in different schools, especially the UK, US, or Canada, or even Australia. We're happy to help with the statement of purpose. Then we also do career coaching and counseling for those that are struggling or looking at moving to a different career. Then, especially for those that are relocating from different countries to, say, the UK, for example, we have a package where we help do CV, cover letter, LinkedIn optimization, just to make sure that the packages that you need to get a good job is set. So that we can also show you how to look for those jobs. So it's a one-stop shop for anything career. Focus is mostly on career people. So you see the books are tailored towards career people, their development, personal development, and finance. So once you what you're looking for is career prospect or managing your finance or how to invest, things like that. Those are things that we cover in iframe books. Okay, so all important question, money. A lot of people um, have this question in their mind, and some sadly think that when you have money, you don't need any other thing. So there are two extremes with this discussion. Some people believe that, oh, um, with money you can meet every need, and so they think that money is everything. While some think that, well, you don't really need money. And most people that say you don't need money probably don't understand why they're saying that. They just think that it's evil to have money. They just associate money with rich people. So we're trying to bridge that gap. For people that think that money is everything, and some that think that money is only for the rich, so to speak. But when you think about it, money is very important. In fact, if you want to survive in this life, you need to spend money at some point, even though it might not be cash. We are not trying to undermine money, we're just trying to emphasize that there are some things that can be more valuable than money. So you focus your attention on these things as a way to manage your existence in life. So these are the things that we are going to be speaking about. To progress, you'll be seeing some examples that I'll be citing, and there are things that you can relate to it based on your exposure about how these things really work. Someone said poor people think about money, rich people think about things that money can buy, like cars, jewelries. Wealthy people think about ideas. And I think that's a very powerful quote when you ponder on these words that I just spoke. Poor people think about money, rich people think about things, but wealthy people think about ideas. And that's the place that any individual should aim to be in or live by. When you think wealthy, not because you have cash in your pocket, but your attitude, your behavior, your speech, and things like that are geared towards having a wealthy mindset. That said, I'm going to be giving just five um, other qualities that I think are more valuable than money. That's one. Even though there are more, but we're just going to dwell on five if time permits. And I try to do my teaching in less than 20 minutes so that you don't get distracted with too many information that are necessary for what you need. So, five things that are more valuable than money. One that I categorically stated is patience. And I said delays are inevitable. So no matter what you're looking to get in this life, sometimes there are delays before those things materialize. So it might be necessary for you to have some level of patience. For example, if you feel ill, you want to take some medicine, and you take say you have headache, you take paracetamol and things like that. You don't get well immediately. Because you have taken paracetamol doesn't mean that you'll be automatically well, even though you know it worked. So you need some time for that medicine to work. That's how it works with patients. There are a few people in this life that are quite patient. They they think about the process and what you are planning to get. They're not eager to get immediate gratification. They are willing to sacrifice some time building something before they can start enjoying it. So if you have this mindset of having some patience over time, you see that it's very valuable characteristics that you can use in other aspects of your life. At the end of all of these things that I'm mentioning, you'll be able to tie all of this together. So follow if you think that uh, you're not getting it at the moment. By the time we finish painting all the picture, you see how some of these things that we're mentioning are more valuable than money. Another very key important quality that I think is more valuable than money is time. In fact, most professionals trade their time for money. When you think about it, you work 9 to 5, for example, that time that you're using to make £50,000 per annum is a trade for money. If you reduce that time, you see that you get lower money. So, and some people try to do overtime so that they can get more money. So, time is valuable, and that's what your employer is paying for. The more time you have, the more money you can get. And so you see that everyone has 24 hours. So what you do in that 24 hours is determine how much quality that you can produce and how much money you can get eventually. And if you have observed how this world works, a lot of people try to work more now so that they can buy time later because time is valuable. Because time is valuable. And someone might be thinking, but I work 8 hours a day and I'm getting say £20 per hour, for example. And how can you say that time is more valuable than money? If you look at the different professionals and their levels in the professional cadre, you see that some people earn 9.5, I think that's the minimum wage in the UK, per hour for the work they do. So their time is measured based on the value that they're putting in for that 1 hour. Some other people, you'd be surprised, earn as much as £200 per hour. So you can see why this person's time is worth just about £9, or one is worth £200, but it's the same time. That's to tell you that time is actually worth more than money. It depends on who is using that time. So when you understand this, it helps you position yourself um, for self development instead of focusing on the money. When you are now more quality, when you give more quality, when the quality that you bring out from yourself impacts more, then you would command more money. So, time, time is a better quality than money. That's another quality that I like to mention. Another one, which I think is the main one, is relationship, or if you prefer, people. Just imagine that you have all the money in the world, all the money in the world. Maybe let's put a number to it. Let's say 50 billion. Well, the richest man is around 300 billion now. Let's say you are the richest man in the world. So you have $300 billion. Then imagine that there was nobody else in the world, just you. And what would you do with the $300 billion? What can you do with it? If you think about it, you see that money itself is actually not worth the hype. The reason why you need money is actually because of people. So if you think about it that way, not because you be hungry, like the example I gave, if it's just you in the world, you'll probably be bored. You'll probably not be hungry because there'll be so much food everywhere. And because you're not trying to impress anybody, you probably go to the farm and make your own food. So it's not because you're hungry that you need money. It's about people. So, and that's why it's very important the type of relationship you build. Um, there are people that you meet that will open doors for you that could just change your life forever. So, and this is why I emphasize for people I speak with, especially professionals, to build relationship, a 360 degree relationship. You don't talk to people only at the top because of the favors you're trying to get. You don't talk to people at your level because you feel comfortable with them only, and you extend your relationship to people below because you never know where these people are going tomorrow and how they can be beneficial to your professional life and life outside work at large. So build a wider relationship, be intentional about the type of relationship you're building, and invest time in your relationship. There are people that I call at least once a month as a tradition, just to keep that relationship going. Because relationship are currencies that you can spend from at any time. There are times that you might be stranded, and you just need to call someone, and not because you need money, or you're stranded for maybe a referral or things like that, and you just need someone that has, or that knows someone that knows someone. That's all that you need. You, even if you have all the money in the world, you might not be able to get there. Just imagine if you have an idea that you want to pass to Elon Musk, and you have maybe $1 billion. He'll probably not be impressed. But if you know someone that knows him, that type of relationship can blossom, and you have that access to speak with him. So be more intentional about the type of relationship that you're building. That way you can spend from it. Someone said relationship is a currency that you can spend from, and I agree with that. So that's key number three. Number four is physical well-being. Physical well-being is another quality that I believe is more important than money. A very common example that I would normally tell people if is Steve Jobs. And Steve Jobs was a very accomplished IT professional, and he invented the iPhone. And you think that, of course, he had a lot of money, but he died of a disease that even money couldn't cure. Money couldn't cure. So if you think about it, he could have been the richest man in the world, but he couldn't solve that problem, because there are things that are actually more important than money. No amount of money you have will be able to cure some certain sicknesses. So when you invest your time and energy in doing some exercise or doing some physical activities, you're not wasting your time. And this is why I encourage people not to do so many overtime. Some people take out overtime just so that they can get more money, and that's taking at the detriment of their own physical well-being and physical health. Eventually, the money you're getting from overtime uses to treat a particular illness, which, if you think about it, is totally waste of time. Because if you have taken that time to rest, you probably don't need all of that stress that will weigh you down later. Some people don't see the impact now until maybe later in the future, but you don't want to wait till later to start seeing the impact of what you're doing to your body. So take out time, do some exercise. If you need to take 10,000 steps a day, do that. If you need to do 30 minutes exercise, do that. And yeah, very good apps that you can use on YouTube and things like that, just to build that physical uh, well-being. And that physical well-being that people do is meditation, and I think it's good. It helps you think. First, you can think about the past, you can think about your present state or the future. Just have a think, just meditate. It gives you an opportunity to look inwards, and also to be grateful for where you are. Because if you look back at maybe 5 years or 10 years uh, from now backwards, you'll be able to see that you have actually made some reasonable progress, and you are not, even though you are not where you want to be, you see that you have moved from where you used to be. So that's why this is very good and important that you do this as a physical exercise or well-being culture that you can develop. No, remember, no amount of money can cure some sicknesses, and you have the opportunity now to work on it. This is also to myself, because I'm not exempted from doing exercise. I try as much as possible to do my steps and do some exercises, but yeah, there's always room for improvement. The fifth one, where I'll be stopping today, it's almost 20 minutes, is wisdom. And I would think that wisdom is a combination of two things: good ideas and ability to execute. I mentioned earlier before that the poor thinks about money. So if you meet a poor person, the only thing they see and think about is how they can get more money, how they can get more money. And they feel that as soon as money come, all their problems will disappear. Someone was um, seeking advice some time ago about how they can get, they're trying to get advice on tax avoidance. So there's two things: tax avoidance and tax evasion. Tax evasion is deliberately trying to dodge the tax that you'd have paid for your income illegally. But tax avoidance is capitalizing on the loopholes in the tax laws so that you're not paying too much tax or pay lower tax than you are currently paying. So those are legal means, tax avoidance. So he was asking about tax avoidance, and he felt that if he's able to get this tax avoidance scheme right, all his problems disappear. And I told him, no, that's not how it works. Because once you get more money, you see more reason why you need to spend more money. And that's just the sad truth about life. So more money is not going to meet all your needs. And I said the rich people always think about things. So if you find yourself thinking about things, cars, shoes, jewelries, I'm not saying they're bad in themselves, but if that's all that consumes your thought life, then you're probably thinking like a rich person. Um, there's a limitation to that when you're thinking about like a poor person thinking about money, or think like a rich person thinking about things. Think about think about ideas as a wealthy person, and that's where, like I mentioned, you should live in your subconscious when you think about ideas. And that's one aspect of wisdom. When you're thinking about ideas, better ways to do things, and wisdom also gives you the ability to execute and execution. So you think about ideas, then you think about how to execute the ideas. I'll give you a practical example. Before I start this my every 2 weeks live, I just thought about it one day that it would be good avenue to share some of my experiences and knowledge, because I've been doing a lot of I think I've gotten to a level in my career where I think I have some credibility based on my experience to give back to people that are upcoming. Even though I had that idea, I also thought about how to execute that idea and make sure that I'm addressing the need of people and I'm able to reach them where they are. And so that's what wisdom does. Wisdom gives you an idea, and it gives you the strategies and ability to execute the ideas. So if the ideas you have are not being executed, then that's not wisdom. It is just knowledge. So you have a knowledge, or you are aware of some things, but you're not doing anything about it. Is at the level of knowledge. And if you understand it thoroughly, the in and out and everything, or you have the idea and you have the strategy to execute it, that's understanding. So you've moved from the level of knowledge to understanding, but not wisdom, because wisdom will always execute. So what are you thinking today? What are things that are dear to your heart that you think, maybe I should start doing this? And this could be a good thing for people. And when you think about it, you have knowledge and understanding. But when you execute, that's wisdom. And that's what distinguishes the wealthy from the rich and the poor. So, the wealthy, the rich, and the poor, if you see how that goes. So, the ability to think about ideas, think about strategies to bring that idea to reality, and the ability to execute those ideas is what wisdom is. And it doesn't mean that you will not fail when you try, but you learn better and you're more experienced than someone who hasn't tried. So I've mentioned 5 things today that I believe are more valuable than money. And if you put all of these together, you will see that you can actually spend from this. Number one, I mentioned is patience. Delays are inevitable, and patience is key. Number two, I said time. you trade time for money. The more time you have, the more money you have, and the more you develop yourself, the more money you can command. So time, and the time you need time to develop yourself to command a higher pay or higher salary or anything like that. So patience, time. Then I mentioned relationship, where I dwelled on much, and I believe that building relationship is key, and you should try to build a 360-degree relationship. Then I talk about physical well-being and avoiding to work overtime just because you want to get more money, by focusing more on your physical health and well-being. Then the last one I mentioned was wisdom, and how that's important, um, to combine knowledge, understanding, executing all of that knowledge and understanding, to arrive at wisdom. I hope you found this session useful. And just about 19 minutes, we start about 7 minutes past 6, and it's about 25, 6:25. So I want to use this opportunity to thank you. And if you believe, I mentioned some of the books that we've written, to date, six of them, and the seventh one will be released hopefully by the end of the month, on the 25th of October to be precise. So if any of the books are of importance to you, I will encourage you to get them. Succeeding in your career, let's talk about money, how to choose a career path, managing family finance, career and romance for those who are looking to find their soulmate. Then the fourth one is single parenting for career professionals. Thank you so much, for your time and, listening to the end of this Career Money Talk with Ifrin. This, live happens every 2 weeks, and in a week we talk about money, and another week we talk about career. So today we have talked about money and things that are more important than money. Then we also, spoke about, um, some of the things that we talked about. Then in 2 weeks' time, we're talking about career. Someone is asking a question. I didn't join from the beginning, but the little I got was impactful. Thanks. Good. Thanks for that feedback, Trish. Really appreciate that. Okay, so that's my question. Thank you. I'll see you in another fortnight. Until then, peace out. Ciao.